Did you put two-stroke in this or what? This
No,
doesn't look like it's mixed.
An electric conversion.
Is this a 30-to-1 or a 40-to-1?
That's an electric conversion from a Sato. What's up, guys? Happy New Year. Welcome to another round of Flight Club tonight. And turn my volume down here as I asked Wayne.
Did you just tell me to turn mine down?
Hope you guys are having a great start to your New Year. It's cold here. Weather's gotten pretty cold. It's been windy. Not good. Don't like it. And I know a lot of you guys are getting bad weather up north too, a lot of snow. But we'd also like to say thank you, as always, to the awesome Legend Hobby and show you guys some beautiful planes. And as always, special thanks to our friend Thomas over there, who is just very good to us. And guys, we got containers in the port waiting to be unloaded. So if you want something, you better pick it and click that button and get it before they're gone. Mason even is waiting on his airplane over here. He's our co-pilot.
That's Mason's buddy.
Yeah.
Christmas buddy. Is this yours?
He's like, give me that.
Come get it.
So hope you guys are had a great Christmas as well. And like I said, time to get your projects going, guys, because spring will be here before you know it, and we'll be having a spring fly-in.
So we only got what, 2 more weeks of winter?
I wish, right? It's just getting crunked.
Oh, dude, it's just
crunked up, right? And if you guys read the pinned message tonight, you see that we have an awesome special guest waiting in the wings, so to speak, Mr. Jorge Valverde, and we are just so delighted to have him here tonight. And he is going to talk to us and you guys as well about electric conversions, which we were just mentioning of, things like that, possibly answering any questions you guys may have for your Legend Hobby planes if you decide to go electric rather than gas, because electric seems to be an awesome
thing,
you know?
It's great, man. Plug and go. Don't clean it, no mess, unplug it.
That's
done,
right.
Fun, quiet, powerful. It's wonderful.
So,
I vowed never to do it, and then I did it.
Hey, we all get sucked into that, don't we?
Yeah, well, I did.
But guys, we appreciate you. We got 30 of you in here so far tonight, and I'm sure more will be coming in. And we'll do a roll call shortly. Glad to have Wayne back from Cali, coming from the heat to the cold.
That place is jacked up.
Hey, well, at least it's not freezing cold, so there is a good thing.
Actually, it was colder there than it was here.
Really?
The whole time I was there. As soon as I left, the very next day, warmed right up.
Huh.
Wherever I go, what's that guy? Is it Thigpen that carries the cloud?
Yeah.
That's me.
I hear you too.
That's it.
All right, so with that, we're going to bring in Captain George and get him in here so you guys can meet him if you haven't already. A lot of you guys may already know him from his Facebook post. I dropped a lot of his hot links in here tonight, guys. Go back and watch those when you go back and read the chat, because a lot of you probably don't even read the chat. So definitely click on the links and you'll see some beautiful birds, guys. So here he is without further ado. Boom. There's the man of the hour.
That's
How
right.
are you, buddy?
This guy's going to give you a reality check. I know, because we had a conversation before he came on, and he's old school.
Yeah.
Old school doesn't mess around. They got no time left to mess around. This is what it is. This is what it isn't. Why are you messing with that? Isn't that right?
That's correct.
See?
That's right.
I told you. That's exactly the way it is.
That's right.
We're all the same. That's the old school.
So how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Good. So you're down in the warm part of the Florida as well, too, right?
That's correct. South Florida. Yeah, absolutely.
What's your temperatures down there now?
I think we're about 58.
Oh, bless. Must be nice.
Which for us is cold.
Oh, well. Oh, yeah. I'm crying a river for you over here.
I know.
Well, my boss is down there in Key West. How far are you from Key West?
A month ago, so I get it.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
How far are you from Key West?
Oh, my God. 150 miles?
Oh, you're not bad.
Oh, man.
My boss is down there, and she goes, well, it's kind of nice down here.
Kind of.
Yeah, well, it's 16 here and 35-mile-an-hour winds. Oh, well, that's too bad. Okay, I got to go. We're going to go have some whatever.
Hey, yeah.
We live in two different worlds.
It was the temperature's dropping right now, and it's supposed to be 40 tomorrow or something like that, 49. And for us, it's freezing cold, but it doesn't matter. You know, I'm in shorts and a T-shirt. I don't care.
That's good,
Prove
man.
it. Prove it.
I have 3 pairs of pants. How's that?
Yeah.
I'll show you my turkey legs, and they shine brighter than the sun.
So, yeah, they're
And it's not a fault. It's not a lie.
No, he's not.
Don't make me do it. Don't
Okay.
make me do it.
Look, these
Right.
legs have never seen sun, man. I mean,
Oh my God!
that is sad. I mean,
my butt's not that white.
I mean, he puts on white socks and you can't tell the difference, right?
I
Oh
make
my God.
socks blush.
That's funny.
So, man, what's your projects? What are you working on right now?
Well, I'm redoing an ESM F7F,
Ah,
which I've flown for years. I bought it, crashed, and rebuilt it. The guy had it with gas, and 2 flights, and he buried it in the ground. And I hear that from a lot of the ESM F7s because it's heavy for 83-inch wingspan.
yeah.
And then my next project, of course, is the Seagull 47,
Okay.
which I've got parts coming in for now. I've had it for a little while, and you can see the box in the right here.
Yeah,
Right
I
there.
saw the boxes earlier. I knew you had something back there.
Yeah, and truthfully, boxes don't sit in my room very long, except for the fact that I had a problem getting the gear. So I'm waiting on the gear, and once it doesn't take me probably less than 10 days to put a plane together and flying.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tag. That's called speed drive, man.
Yeah, well, that's whatever. But
So which is that what size 47 is that?
114-inch.
I wish
I knew it.
that's so far to my budget, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Beautiful plane. I mean, I saw the ones that that Tomas puts. It's amazing, beautiful plane.
Yeah.
But no, it's a Seagull. It's 81, 83, whatever it is.
Okay.
I can look back. Let me see. I can't read that far.
That's 60 cc, 50 or 60 cc.
50 cc, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I will put I'll put a dual sky 60 cc 180 kV motor in that thing, and it'll just rip the wings off the plane. It's stupid.
Oh, well, I excel in that area. That's where my expertise is.
Yeah, he can rip wings off a
I
plane.
just got done ripping a pair off about a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. Oh, it's great, man. I had it's the one, the Tower Hobbies brand that they sell.
The Zero.
The Phoenix.
Phoenix, yeah.
Okay.
FW190, 20
Okay.
cc size. Well,
Okay.
I had a 55 cc laying around, and I figured, well, we got to make that thing go. Perfect. No nose weight. Put it in there. Great. I stuck a 2015 prop on there, tuned it, kept tuning it, and just got it perfect. It was going along the backstretch, and it was going so great. And then all of a sudden, it was a horizontal lawn dart, and the wings were going that way. And I said, what the heck just happened?
He had to keep pushing it, man. You know?
Oh, yeah. The wings came off at 143.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, they were doing great. I mean, I was doing circuits, but I kept tuning it and tuning it. You know how you're getting closer where it's unloading just right, and you can hear it. It's just, and that was when the wings went that way, and the fuselage went that way.
Yeah.
And well, it makes for a great story.
Jared Kirby was asking which scheme did you get in your 47?
Yeah, which scheme?
Well, I'm going to try to do the I think of the guy's name. The Polish pilot. It's the yellow scheme, the regular Seagull scheme. It's the older one, but I'm gonna mix it up and go with the. Forgive me, I can't remember the pilot's name. But basically, the World War II P-47 Grace Ace
Okay.
for the U.S.
Okay.
I can't think of his name right now. He was Polish, and he
Okay.
flew with the Polish Air Force for a little while, with the British before he went into the U.S. And
Somebody said Gabby Gabreski.
Gabreski, perfect. Gabreski, yes. So I'm going to do the older style, not the multicolored he had at the end, but basically the oh my God. Anyway, but the older style aircraft before he went to the D model,
Nice.
So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna detail it that way and paint it in that scheme. That's my intention on it.
And are you going to go 12S?
Yeah, absolutely. Most of the things I fly are 12S, unless you're dealing with like the 17, the 25. That I go 6 and 8S with those guys. And truthfully, the 25 you could actually do with a 6S if you powered it properly.
Right.
I'm using a 300 kV motor on that with 1610 props.
Okay.
And it flies a good 8 minutes at least.
Wow.
A long
Nice.
time. That's a long time. That's good. That's good flight time.
Now you also you built, or are you building the B-17 from Legend Hobby?
It's built. It's been done. It's finished. As a matter of fact, I think I'm the first person that finished it to fly it at Bomber Field a couple of years ago. Now it's been not this year, but the year before.
Okay.
And I finished it and flew it there. And I didn't even have all the parts. Honestly, there was still stuff that was coming out, turrets and windows. I didn't get all the stuff, but yeah, it's phenomenal flying plane.
And what motors did you run in that when your ESCs?
Well, I did the 120 amp Hobby Wing, the 8S setups, because I just wanted the extra, because I wasn't sure they were getting enough air, so I wanted the higher C rating ESCs, so I didn't worry about them overheating or anything problem like that, or the FETs having a problem. So I did that, and then I went with 470 kV motors with I believe they're 1410s.
Okay.
And I fly that at half throttle or less.
Wow. Man.
And it flies. Honestly, I think my buddy Mark, who's a big gas guy, and I kind of introduced him in the electric in a way that I had him made my P40 years ago. And the funny part is, he did the gas thing, hit the throttle, and it spun like a top.
Wow.
It's the torque, yeah.
Man.
But so it flies probably, I would say 8 to 10 minutes, every bit of.
Wow. That's a lot for a plane that size. Yeah.
5200 Z batteries.
Okay.
40C, or I don't know if they're 40 or 60C, but no, phenomenal flying plane. It's a big trainer.
Wow, man. I want to say thank you to Mr. Tim Toutant and Guy Caputo for showing the love and the sunshine up in this room tonight. We all know Guy, Flying Tiger, man, has got some great stuff over there as well, and been very great to our channel as well. So yeah, thanks very much, guys, for that, and for all you guys being in here tonight, because these guys are what makes the show, man. We're just here, as I told you earlier in the chat you and I were having. Yep. We're just here doing what we love, and we learn from it, and we learn from guys like you that have been doing it, and it's just fun. We're not here to be all bougie or nothing like that. We're just having a good time, and you're not. It's quotations, okay? Wayne's trying to be bougie, but I'm not. So yeah, we're just having a good time and trying to pass along any information that we can get, especially from guys like you that are building these planes, because a lot of guys recently in the past 6 months received the B-17s. And, if they're not big guys that fly gas and they want to be sure, because, flying a plane that size with 4 engines and getting them all synced up and everything, that's a lot, and it's very nerve-wracking. So I guess, if you can get somebody that can help you do electric setup and conversions and things like that, it does help to relieve a little bit of the stress of flying that airplane, I would assume. Yeah. And
again, with me with 17, I actually went, I know the B-17 was not counter-rotating, but I went counter-rotating, Okay. And I also when I set up the 17, I basically, like I had seen a bunch of smaller aircraft where they put the inbound engines together on one set of batteries and the outbound engine one set of batteries. So if something fails, they're drawing on each other. So it works out well.
Yep. I got the old Banana Hobby. I think it's 80-inch. It's 13, 14, 15 years old, whatever it is. Same thing. Dual setup, inside, outside.
Yep.
Flies great. I mean, it's old school. It's put together with yardsticks and foam. I mean, it's 15 years old, whatever it is, but it flies great.
Yeah.
When I take off, I use no rudder. Pretty much just go straight down the runway. The 25's the same way. My P-38's the same way. Of course, P-38 was always counter-rotating, just opposing to most planes that you're used to. That I try to follow scale in that respect. But
that's like the F7. I've got the Flightline F7F, and that
awesome
is
flying plane.
That's just a phenomenal flying airplane. And as we were talking earlier, I fly it with a gyro. And that plane, I can take that plane out in 20-mile-an-hour winds and fly when nobody else is flying.
Right.
And as we talked about, stability, that gyro does it in that plane and locks it in, and it's got such a nice, wing that it just flies great. So I can't wait to see yours when you get it done.
Yeah, well, I've flown it for years. When I bought it, crashed. It was with gas. It's ESM. It's very heavy plane. I'm not gonna lie. When the power goes off, just point the nose to the ground and hope it survives.
Instant brick.
It's 83 pounds. It's 83 inch wingspan at 29 pounds.
Wow.
It's heavy. It's not a game. My buddy Mark that passed away a number of years ago here, made it the first time, and he had problems seeing it against a tree background when we were at Markham Park many years ago, and kind of broke it. And then he flew it again. He broke it again. And I fixed it again. And I said, when I got it, it was broken. It was gas motors. The guy who flew it twice and crashed it and broke it. And I fixed it from the got it. So wow. And my wife says I have to fly it. She loves the plane. So I get, yes, dear. And I just fix it and fly it again. So right now it's just getting a makeover. I'm going to upgrade the motors. I'm flying it on 9-cell now. I'm going to go back to 8-cell. Okay. Higher kV motors, higher pitch props, and see how it goes.
Now, how do you go about deciding what motors to put in, what ESCs? I know there's all kinds of equations like you and I and Wayne were talking earlier, but what is your typical way of taking a plane and deciding what you want to do with it?
Well,
take a bigger breath.
Huh? What's that? Okay. What's that, Wayne? It's funny because there's always a recommendation, and the recommendation is giving you what would be more as a scale aspect, and I guess with gas that's okay. Electric is not the same in respect that instant torque, instant power. So just because you have it doesn't mean you have to use it. So when for example, they say the 17, they say you want like a 15 cc motor. Well, I'm running 1 point. Let me put down here. What do they call these? 0.90 electric motors. Okay, so I have it. I'm swinging big props, and the reason I swing high pitch props is because I can throttle back,
right?
Half throttle, quarter throttle, and it flies forever.
Wow, man.
Okay, so I'm using 6-cell, and you could actually, truthfully, you could probably fly that plane on a 4-cell if you really wanted to. I don't recommend it.
Right.
I mean, my plane, the 17 is 42 pounds. When I checked it last, when I first finished building it, there's been a couple of got into it. It might be 43 pounds, let's say. Okay.
Wow.
And talking to the gas guys, we're talking 50.
Yeah.
Okay. And as we talked about earlier, I'm using assist. Assist doesn't fly the plane for you. It just buffers the little minor things on jetty. Okay. Mm-hmm. So it just doesn't lack any power. When I first took off a couple of 25, whatever, with the props I put on it for motors, it was like 20 feet into the air it went. And I couldn't, it's like, I got to trim it out, whatever. So you learn to adjust your throttle.
Right. Throttle management. Yeah.
Absolutely. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. The amount of power you have in electric, people don't have a clue. It's just amazing how much power you have,
That's awesome because, like with this plane behind us, Wayne did all the conversions on this. It had a Sato, what was it, a
56?
56. And
right. When you say 56, are you talking about 0.56 or are you talking about 56 cc?
Yeah, it was 56 cc, wasn't it?
No.
Oh, it couldn't be. It's small.
It was no. Yeah, it's a 56 4-stroke.
4-stroke, yeah.
Okay.
So it's a little more. What's that? 8 cc, 9 cc. So I think 60 is a.
Okay. So you're looking at like what'd you convert it to? What'd you do in electric?
You remember what we put in it?
That one?
Yeah.
Oh, we put a cheapest motor we could find with a 400K, $39, and it puts out I don't know, 1200 watts, I think, at max.
When you say watts, the question is it maximum watts or is it continuous?
Well, there you go. Because see, now we're talking about what there's no standard. Wow, it's maximum, or is that a continuous? Is that
you say the cheapest motor, but the cheapest motor doesn't always give you the solution you want because you want to know.
So anyway, it's pushing up. It probably averages 1,000 at full throttle. I'm guessing you ain't going to get 1,200. I can tell you that. There ain't no way. Well, so 1,000. So 746 watt is a horsepower. So it's about 1.25 horsepower. You can do it'll. Yeah, 1 horsepower is plenty. Because I think with the 56, it was a little over 1 horsepower, 1.2, a little over that, something like that in the 56 range on the 4-stroke. But that's all torque, right? So you have to pitch it, size it. So I don't know what it was when we took it apart. But anyway, we use that. They haven't even flown it yet. It's not mine. I'd fly it because it's a cool plane.
It is.
But it's interesting. I know what it is, but it's cool looking.
It's the old
Seamaster.
Yeah, the old Seamaster.
Which means nothing to me because, like I said, I've been doing this for like 15 years, and
yeah, that plane's probably 30 years old.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's all ply and light, balsa, blah blah blah. It's all built up. Right. The old school way.
EQRC wanted to know, do you know the CG on your B-17? And you said the 120 amp ESCs are saying 80 ALs not recommended on 300 kV. I don't know if you understand the question or not.
I don't understand the question. I'd be lying.
Okay. So,
and the reason the B-17, if I use the 120 amp ESCs, is because air cooling.
Yeah.
Okay. More than anything else, because they're really not any place you can get air cooling. I didn't put them in the wings, so they're not really getting a lot of circulation. But then when I realized when I finished that actually you're getting the circulation from the wheel wells. They're right there at the wheel wells, so they do get air because they come to. I check everything when I fly it, and they're ice cold, so they don't get any. And the plane only pulls, I think, 2 motors only pull like 120 amps. Period. So I'm way overkill. And I'd rather have more ESC than I need because crashing is a bad thing.
Right. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Well, like you said earlier, you'd always rather have more in the reserve and not use it.
Absolutely.
Than,
That's why you don't date skinny girls.
So it
is. Okay.
Jared Kirby wants to know, do you use any other motor on your giant scale planes, or are you strictly dual sky?
No, it's funny. My Skyraider, I'm actually using a 160 kV Scorpion, and it was because truthfully is what Tomas had said that the RC Geek was using, and it motor works great. That the Skyraider actually flies almost 10 minutes on 8,000 12-cell setup, and they were using. I think they were doing a 2014 prop. And it was let me think who made that prop. The scale prop from I think it was Vieli props.
Yeah.
The scale. And truthfully, when I did the watt test on that, it was outrageous. I mean, if you're in a colder climate, which your batteries don't get the full amp you normally use in South Florida, or even altitude, your batteries don't ever reach their full potential. And like I said before, below 75 degrees, the batteries don't actually get their full potential, and the motor and ESCs don't get their full potential. So when you're in the ground level like we are here with the moisture and heat, we get outrageous amount of watts. And I think the Scorpion was 3,500 watts continuous, and that's the key word here is continuous.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Huh?
That's a lot.
It is. So I'm flying a 4-bladed 2012 that I bought. I couldn't find anybody locally, but I recently found somebody carries locally. But I bought mine from China, big blades, big fat, but it flies amazing on the 4-bladed prop. And you can fly a, I think it was a 2014 2-blade in the same product. If you want to go faster, that's great. But for a Skyraider, it doesn't look scale. It doesn't look good.
Right. Yeah.
And to me, it's making it look good.
Right.
For me. And it got to be. Don't get me wrong. I mean, my FW190, Seagull FW190, I've got the Dual Sky 160, 180 kV with I think it was the Platinum 130 ESC, and that thing flies 130 miles an hour. I never fly it that way. But when I open it up with a 3-bladed prop, which is the Aircraft International 3-bladed scale prop, 135. If I put it, and that's a 2010. If I put a 2012, it's stupid fast.
Peeling the wings off.
Pretty much. And I don't fly it that way, but but it also extends my flight time another 2 or 3 minutes.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's like the T-28 over here. We're gonna, basically break it in and maiden it with a 2-blade, but then I'm putting the 3-blade on it for scale because I like scale.
I do too. I do. Yeah.
And I want it to fly scale and look scale.
Right.
So yeah. So again, how? I mean, a lot of these, ARFs that we're buying now from Legend Hobby, things like that. I mean, how do you know? And I know, granted, some of it just comes naturally because you've been doing it so long. But I mean, how would you give a layman an idea of where to start as far as how to figure out what they might want to use more than what's recommended? Is there a particular, a website, or is there a particular formula? I mean, how do you tell somebody to start?
Well, a good start. I mean, I used
Ecal
for a little while. Again, it was great for a start. The biggest problem with Ecal is when you start getting above, like, the 20 cc, and you start dealing with, because they deal with electric props, and electric props are great if you're dealing with a 20 cc motor or below. But when you start getting to something like a 50, a 60, 100 cc motor, that formula doesn't work. And again, most of the stuff they give you is good starting point. But the thing is, you literally, I mean, I have a box of motors because I tried. And the biggest problem with motors is you get this motor and the KV says, oh, it's this. But then you actually test it. And I know there's equipment that you can test KV in regards to what it actually true is. But manufacturers make KV as to how they test it. Now, how it's not a general consensus. It's how the KV is. Right. So unfortunately, you buy a motor, it's this KV, and you put a prop on because from experience you go, oh, this should pull this prop its manner, and it's so out of scale it doesn't even match, because Scorpion and Dual Sky don't even match, and Hobby King and Dual Sky don't match, and the numbers don't match.
Right.
There's no set pattern is what they are.
Right.
Okay. So they recommend a prop. And again, what I love about most motors, I like about Dual Sky, I like Scorpion, is they tell you these are the props we recommend. Okay. And most of the recommendations, truthfully, are for 3D planes. Okay. Because you're using this big blade with this pitch, and it's because you're dealing with a plane that's 15 pounds. Let's say, for example, just as a gamble. And your Warbird 30 pounds. Well, guess what? That doesn't work.
Right.
Not even close, because you're carrying a much heavier load. So the motor has to be not maximum burst, but continuous.
Yeah.
Right? And I try to work around the amps more than I do about anything else. So if I keep below the amps that they're recommending for the continuous burst, I'm happy. Okay. And then I adjust the props to get maximum efficiency. And that's how I do it.
Okay.
And thus,
and when people you guys use gas tanks, right? So gas tank, okay. Well, I'm going to make the plane run longer, so I'm using not using a 12 ounce or 16 ounce. I'm using a 32 ounce tank, so I'm going to go fly longer. So for me, it's like, okay, so I've got this plane, and I need lead. Well, I can either go motor and or batteries.
Yeah.
If I slide them forward, I don't need lead.
Right.
That's my gas tank. My batteries are my gas tank.
Right.
So if I adjust the let's say it's at a firewall, I might cut the firewall because I know the CG needs to be further forward. So I'll go, as opposed to going 8 cell or 10 cell, what they recommend, I'll go 12 cell. Because it's going to give me a longer flight time for less effort. Okay. It's more work physically, but it just helps me out in the long run.
Michael Reichka had a question. He said, I'm using 190 kV avian motor, 180 amp Castle ESC with a 2210 by 3 prop on 12 cells. Should that power the T-28 fine? Any advice?
It's funny. I don't the AV on motors. I don't know really well, because again, what I just stated before was you have to unfortunately you have to test it, put it on a bench, do the watt test, find out what you're getting up, and it's running a 3-bladed prop. 2210 is on 100 kV. You're asking. I would say a 2010 probably better if it's a true 180 kV. 2210 might be excessive.
Okay.
Because even the 180s I use with the dual sky, they recommend like 23, 24-inch props, but I run the 20s because it's more efficient.
Okay. Keith Christie said, "What's your thoughts on the Stinger belt reduction?"
Never dealt with them. I don't know. I'd be lying to say anything different. I know that in the early years, they used to do the gear ratio thing in the belts to use larger props to make it more scale and smaller motors. It was a weight change off, and I'm not familiar. I'd be lying to say I know anything about them. I'd be lying.
Did you ever fly on the old Biro drives?
I'm sorry?
The Biro drives, the Byron originals, they had a drive system. They had a Quadra and never did it.
Never did it. I'd be lying. No.
So have you ever flown gas at all?
No, not really. Not really. I mean, as I said, I deal with a lot of friends who are gas, and the funny part with me is I got Texas, and the guys in Texas, we're flying, and they're like going, "Hey, you know what? You need to land?" I'm good. They're like, "You need to land?" I'm good. I'm like, "What?" Well, you've been up there a long time, And then, of course, the comment is, well, I have friends that rebuilt the plane, and they went to a, they 12 cell in 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. What are you talking about? Well, you've been up 10 minutes. Okay. So what are you trying to tell me?
Right.
You can't fly that long, man. My friend don't fly that long.
So, my buddy who's Mark Ambrose, who flies a Corsair. He's got the Corsair, the Seagull. He bought it. I bought mine. I put the Dual Sky 8000. I don't remember the point, whatever it is. And I fly it on a 16. You're gonna love this 1622 prop.
Ooh, okay, that's a lot of pitch.
That's what I'm saying, and it's really not enough pitch. It should be an 18.
Wow,
but I can't find one. So the thing is, I fly. He's flying a 3W 2-cylinder 80 cc.
Mm-hmm.
Half throttle, he can't keep up with me.
Huh. Wow.
And he has to land before I do because he can't put it in a gas tank to keep up with me. I'm using 10,000 12-cell setup.
And Tomas was telling me earlier when we were talking that you take in a lot of your electric setups that you take the motor mount box and actually put inside the fuselage with your batteries in it to slide back and forth. That's a pretty good idea as well for that box.
I don't use spacers. I actually extend the motor boxes because in case I have to adjust it for any reason, I just extend the motor boxes. So let's say my motor is going to be, 50 millimeters further than the firewall. I cut the firewall and I make motor boxes that stand out further. So if I need to, I can adjust the battery back and forth as need be.
So you don't have to put any dead weight in the airplane.
There is no dead weight in my planes.
See?
Wow. That's great.
In any of them, there's no dead weight in any of my planes.
Sounds like a good marriage.
That's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I've done it for no reason. Good example is my P40. I did it thinking because it's such a long nose. I'm thinking I need that, and then it ended up was a waste of time. But it doesn't matter. If I needed it, was there. If I didn't need it, it's fine.
That's a pretty good idea, though, and that gives you a good use for that box too. And now, do you move the batteries on Velcro in the box, or do you move the whole box?
It depends on the plane because different planes are different setups, and a lot of times I'll put if I'm wrong on my my adjustment on the nose, I will take hard foam. When I say hard foam, like your packing foam, like here.
Right.
Find the packing foam, and you cut pieces, and you slide it in the nose, and basically gives you the maximum forward throw, and then you put a stop at the back with Velcro and a wood angle stop or whatever. I don't think I have anything handy here, and Velcro it, and it stops the battery from coming back or forward. And they're set in place, and you're there.
That's cool.
Your CG is perfect, the motors are perfect, and you're good to go.
That's pretty good idea. That's really good. Let me go through here real quick. I just want to give the guys in here tonight a shout out, tell them hey, and thank you for being here. We try to always appreciate all the supporters of the channel. Let's see, and probably some of the names you'll know as well. Let's see, we've got Ken Wade, which is a member of our field, Mr. Lucky, we call him. Phil Camp. Hey, what's up, Phil? John Holligan. Good to have you here, buddy. Let's see. Legend Hobby, of course, is in the house hanging out with us tonight. Guy Caputo. We've got WW2 British Nerd. Good to have you here tonight. Scott Monarch.
Too.
Let's see. We have got, heading down the list here, man. Michael Fox. He's our safety director at our field. Good to have you here, Mike. Let's see, got Jeff in Lower Alabama, or LA Jeff as I like to call him. My mom's here tonight asking for the thumbs up from everybody. We appreciate that. Let's see, who else we got? Jared Kirby, of course, up in the mountains. They're getting some snow. He's about 4.5 hours from us. Let's see, of course, Mr. Guy Caputo here hanging out with us tonight and slinging around the sunshine. Flyer, let's see, I saw his name here and here. Where'd it go? Flyer Mikey, what's up, buddy? Lyndon Stewart, all the way from Guyana, is in here with us tonight. Mr. Keith Christie, always good to have you here, Keith. Tim Touton, as I said earlier tonight, always a good loyal to the channel. Let's see, who else we got here? I don't want to miss anybody if I can help it. EQRC. He's putting together the B17 as well. He's doing electric on that as well. RC Flyby. Let's see. Better make sure I don't miss anybody. We got Church Lady. That's your sister. Don't know where she comes up with that one. Mr. Michael Reiska here tonight with us. Let's see. I think got Hangar 51, Kenny. F you, Kenny. He's all the way down in Florida. He better watch out. He'll be by your house on a short bus, man.
No problem.
Turn the lights off.
And Mr. Craig Beaven, thank you all of you guys for being here and hanging out with us tonight. And again, we've got Mr. Jorge Valverde in here tonight talking about electric setups for these awesome Legend Hobby airplanes. And I dropped a lot of his links in here from Facebook, guys, because he's got some great stuff, great airplanes, tents full of airplanes. And so if you guys get a chance, go over and check those out as well, and hit the like button for him, and let him know you appreciate his work. So we've got several things. The weather's here has just been so bad for us. I told you earlier it was cold. Between wind, cold, Christmas, New Year's, him being gone, it's just been crazy. We just haven't gotten a chance to do a lot of flying. He's done some. Yeah.
Where are you guys out of?
Huh?
Where are you guys out of?
I didn't understand you.
Where are you guys out of?
Oh, Greenville, North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, so cool. We're not too far from Florida. You know, I can be in Orlando. I can be in Orlando in about 8 hours.
Greenville.
Yeah. Home of the ECU Pirates. But it's just, I was telling Tomas that we've just had a hard time, man, getting to the field. He's been some when he can go. I couldn't go, but we've got, God, how many maidens have we got to do now?
20.
I mean, we've got so many projects that we're working on, man. It's crazy. You know, we just need to load up and come down there and fly with y'all in some warm weather.
No problem. Feel free anytime.
So how long do you think it'll be before you have that P-47 put together?
Well, I mean, I got it last year, and I'm waiting on gear. What's that?
Was that 7 days ago? Last year?
Okay, no. I actually been waiting because I want to have a working tail gear on that plane. So we ran a little issue with, accommodating that, but I guess it's coming. When I get the stuff, it probably won't be. It takes me a long time to build a plane. It might be 3 weeks.
Wow. Well, and we all know a P-47 just flies incredibly well.
They are amazing.
I've got a nice gas P-47 that I actually maidened this past fall.
Right.
And it flies incredibly well. Wayne finally got me around to doing it, and loved it, man. And I was hooked. So yeah, I hadn't been able to fly it again since, but
Right.
it flew incredibly well that day. And everybody's always told me, man, a P-47 just flies great.
It is. And the funny part is when I was in Texas a couple of years ago, and I said to Tomas, hey, I want to buy a 47. And he's like, well, I said, yeah. I said, you have the new FW190 coming out. I said, what would help you most? He's like, well, it doesn't matter. Buy what you want. No, I don't want to ask. I'm asking him what would, he said, well, the FW190. So I bought the FW190. I'll tell you what, I'm not, my oldest boy says to me, says, I love the FW190 and put it together. It's an amazing flying plane.
Wow.
Amazing. It probably flies as well as the 47, if not better.
Huh.
It's just an amazing fly. It's just phenomenal flying plane. And
wow.
like I think I clocked mine with a 3-blade pipe at 135 miles an hour.
Wow, that's pretty good for that size.
Yep. And, I mean, it's stable. It's smooth. It lands well. It takes off well. Great flying plane.
So do you have the T-28?
I do not. I do not.
Well, we've been working on this.
I would have probably gotten one if it Vietnam scheme.
I got you.
Because I mean, many years ago when I was at CEF, which is, Southern Electric Flying Festival, whatever it is, and I actually did the Horizon, the T-20, the foam one, when they first came out, and I bought it, and it was red and white, and I said, when it comes back, you guys won't recognize it. And I actually got an award for it. I did it in the South Vietnamese scheme, and detailed it all out, painted it, the whole bit, and it took off the flail I think the following year, and people were like, oh my God, where'd you get that? Really? It's a foam T-28,
Dag, yeah.
Great flying plane. Another one, great flying plane.
Sometimes those are the best, man.
Was that?
I said sometimes it's the best when you take something and do it, and nobody else has got one like it either.
I can't just let it. However it comes, I can't do it that way. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
I have to.
Do you like to recover as well?
You know what? That's what I'm doing on the ESM. I actually got a fiberglass. It was as I said, it was a crash plane. I bought it several years ago. It's probably got 200 or 300 flights on it. Every bit of. It's been on the ground as much as it's been in the air. Hate to say it, but it flies like a brick. The ESM F7F. You talk about the FMS. Awesome flying plane. Flies, glides, great. You lose power in the F7, the ESM F7F, it's going to the ground like a brick. 29 pounds.
Wow.
Wingspan 29 pounds. It's heavy. And you lose power.
Is it balsa or composite?
It's composite.
It's actually, it's funny. It's the nacelles are composite, or fiberglass, call it what you like. The nacelle is composite, the full fuselage composite. Elevators and wings are wood on mine. I understand they had different kinds, and they had a lot of problem with the full composite plane where they did the wings. Apparently, they were very distorted and had a lot of problems. Mine was a problem. I actually put a gyro in it because it was so unstable.
Right.
And once I had an incident where it went in a lake in Hodges Field, motor went out. Electric does go out. Stuff happens when you over amp, over watt, which I did with mine because it was probably going 140 miles an hour with props. And I had a motor go out, and basically I thought it was coming in really hot, and I went to make a right turn, and both motors went out and went into the lake.
Oh man!
With splash. So yeah.
Now
it's been a challenge.
is yours blue or silver?
It's blue.
Okay, all right. Because I've seen a couple of guys that's got silver ones that are really nice too.
Actually, I did it after the racing scheme, 55, the Marine scheme.
Okay.
D355.
Okay.
Let me think I can't remember I can't see the artwork. It's sitting on my right side, but I can't see the artwork. So
how many planes do you have?
Oh my God, you make me think.
just a guesstimate. We won't tell the wife.
My wife knows. She tells me before. 12 to 15. I would say 12 to 15.
Okay. And what's your favorite?
What's that?
What's your favorite?
Wow. That's a tough one.
You
My
love
favorite
them
aircraft
all.
in general is a P-38.
Okay.
And I have the Night Fighter. I have from when I took Tomas stopped with VQ, and the last one he actually made me a deal I couldn't refuse, so I bought it. That's my favorite aircraft. I would like to get one about 120 inch wingspan, but I have to build it, and I'm not a builder. I don't admit that I'm sure I could build one. And
Yeah.
many of us that Ken had built, and they said it'd help me. But that's my favorite aircraft of all. Best flying one is probably the B-17, honestly, or the Sky Raider.
Wow.
Now, are you going to make it out to Bomber Field this fall?
Oh, absolutely. I'll be there.
Oh, cool. Well,
Yeah,
we're going to try to be there.
We didn't make it this past year. My wife had an incident with her foot, had surgery. We wouldn't make it. And a friend of mine, very dear friend of mine, I did a lot of work for, passed away. So stuff got in the way. It's called life. And we didn't make it. And I felt bad. But yeah.
Wayne was actually there. He went on our behalf and had a fantastic time. And
great people.
Yeah, he didn't even have time to talk to me the whole time he was there. He was so busy, didn't film nothing. I'm like, man, where was the camera action? You know,
it's funny, but I'm not. I love talking to you guys. It's great. I go to events and people look for me, and I'm like, why? Why? I go to fly and have a good time, and it's funny because I fly to Amsterdam in Perrine, which is almost Homestead, way down south. And the guy told me the other day, he says, George, he says, how many? I was there Sunday. He goes, how many times you fly? I said, not many flights today. I said, like 10. And I was there for like 4 hours, 5 hours.
Yeah.
And they go, you flew 10 times. And they're jet guys and propeller guys. I go, yeah. So I would die if I flew that many times. When I go to events and I fly I basically assemble every plane I own, and I fly them 2 to 3 times every day. So if I have 10 planes, I'm doing 30 flights.
Dang. Wow.
What's the most flights in a day you've ever done?
45.
Ooh,
man.
I'm right behind you. I got 43 in.
Yeah, 45.
How many sets of batteries do you own? 500?
God, I wish I could.
Gotta be honest.
What I tell people is people that try to put their planes around the batteries, right? I don't do that. I did when I first started doing it. I do my planes, and then I assign the batteries to the planes. Every plane has 2 sets of batteries, so 2 flights per plane.
Okay.
So when I remember going to Bomber Field and the RC Geek was there. The year I was there a couple of years ago. Chris
Wolf.
Chris Wolf, right? So he was there, and and his charger wasn't working. I said, "Feel free." I get chargers, like running about charges batteries. I basically had probably 40 batteries on the table.
Yeah.
Because it's, as I said, it's 12 cell setup, 2 batteries, 4 batteries, 2 flights, right?
Yeah.
So Sky Raider.
And what charger are you using to keep all these things going?
What brands of chargers do you use? Specific?
Well, truthfully, I used to. My favorite ones are Toolkit RC. They're 12 volt, 24 volt setup. You can't do anything more than that. But my trailer's also set up. I built the trailer, solar panels, Life 4 batteries, and I fly. I basically charge 8,000s at one time.
That's a lot.
Yeah, Tomas said you built your own trailer, a custom trailer. Said it was very nice from the ground up.
Yeah, from the ground up, absolutely. Everything, and that was during COVID, which was overly expensive, but it suits. I could probably carry 10 or 12 planes in a given trip.
Wow, that's
nice.
And
then all the batteries and all the stuff, and I'm still modifying it. I never stop modifying anything in life.
No.
Yeah. Have you ever fried any ESCs or motors?
Was that new?
Have you ever fried any ESCs or motors?
Yes, I have fried motors. As I said, the F7, because I probably overamped it or just too many hours on the motors. It was a Hobby King 260 kV 8S setup. And again, they now I bought new ones to try, and truthfully, they again they changed their windings. It's not the same motor.
Yep.
The kV is, they say 260 kV, but it's not the same motor I had before. It just doesn't carry the RPMs I used to carry before. Because I do the RPM test when I bench test them. So yeah, everything, and they do it to longevity of the motors, and I get it. It's all good.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, a couple of weeks ago we had Mike from High Tech up here, and
Yeah,
he sent Wayne and I some nice, hoodies and hats, toboggans, things like that, and
Right.
we're hoping to get the discharger from him soon as well. But we're letting all these guys here know tonight. Guys, go to Legend Hobby and support them with as many things as you can get other than your airplanes. Buy the servos from them. Get
absolutely.
your Stinger engines. They're a big Stinger dealer now. They've taken that over. So try as much as you can, guys.
Same thing with the motors and the ESCs. He carries them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It's no big deal.
Yeah, anything you guys can get over there at Legend Hobby, you're going to get great customer service.
Absolutely.
They're going to stand behind it. It's some of the best customer service I've ever seen. There's not many places you can call and talk to the owner. And, Tomas will definitely take care of you and get your stuff straight, and normally give you the best prices that you can typically find out there. If it's doable, he will make you happy.
Absolutely.
So, like I say, please go over there and support them. And if you guys are looking to get planes for the winter, for next spring, the containers are sitting in the port right now. He wanted me to let you guys know that. Also, if you guys saw the video that was put up, I'm not sure if it was put up or not, but of the 89-inch Mustang that's in pre-production. They're working with that. It flew great. They're working a couple of kinks out of it because they want to get everything right when it gets here. And so that is going to be a beautiful, beautiful Mustang.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be one of the most scale Mustangs with all of the working cowl and everything on it. It's just going to be beautiful. So, and there's a lot of pre-orders now going on the website right now, guys. So definitely go over to Legend Hobby, and if you want it, you better get it, because Chinese New Year's going on. Things are going to be backed up, and it's going to probably be early spring before we start seeing more things come in. So if you want it and it's on this container, you need to get it now. So, yeah. But, George, it's been wonderful having you here tonight, man. And I hope we haven't bothered you, kept you up too long, but kept you from working on a project. But we just always love, learning and getting more information for the guys out there and talking airplanes, because we could sit here and do it for a long time. So forever, as he says. But we just appreciate you being here. We love to have you back on sometime and show that 47 and your setup and give us some more insight on that if you would be so inclined. Because we're always just happy to have good people on the show that are down to earth that we can all talk to. So with that, I'm going to let you go and get back to your family and whatever it is you want to do, man. And like I said, we just appreciate you being here with us.
Well, I got to say something, gentlemen. It was a real pleasure speaking with you guys. It really was.
We hope we won't too hard on you and didn't make it too weird for you, because like I said, a lot of people first time coming on, it's kind of, I don't know if I want to do this, but like I said, man, we're just here having fun and we love to learn and just talking airplanes, and normally getting him to hush is another thing.
I want to learn.
I always tell people, if you need any information, send me an email, send me a text. It's not a big deal. I'll gladly help anybody. It's no big deal.
Well, that's very kind of you.
I will.
Well, that's very kind. We appreciate you. And thanks to Tomas for getting us in touch with you to come on. And I want to hear about that P-47 now. And I definitely the F-7, because that's one of my favorite flying planes too. So definitely be posting on Facebook with that. I want to see that.
I will. I actually, it's sitting next to me. Like I actually peeled. Actually, when I got it, the wings were glued on. and the wing, it's hard to store because 83 inches putting in a trailer is difficult. A lot of space. I basically cut the wings loose, and now I'm working on reskinning all the wings. Okay. I'm going to put new hinges and stuff on it, new servos in it, new motors in it, and get it up and running to what I like.
What gear are you going to put in it?
What's that?
What gear are you going to put in it?
Well, it's funny. I actually bought a set of JP Hobbies.
Okay.
And I bought struts from Hobby King a long time ago. It's been fine for 4 years.
Right.
It's been fine forever. But I just basically made it pass so I can fly. It's flown itself for many years. It's flown all over the place, and people are like, "Oh my God, you got that flying!" And most people have flown it, crashed it, and destroyed it.
Yeah.
It's not a very forgiving plane. I can tell you that. It's heavy. And the guy that had, I think he had 26 cc gas motors in it.
Right.
And I basically took the cowlings and refiberglassed them and did everything I wanted to, and took care of it.
Gotcha. Well, can't wait to see it, man, and see it fly again. So
it'll fly soon.
Yeah, I bet it will with the way you get things done.
And it will. I got those for it. It will be in Texas.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's good to see. A couple of guys are sending out their thanks to you as well in the chat right now, and showing the appreciation for you being here, and all the work you've helped them with too. So it's very nice that you can lend these guys a hand, man. That's awesome.
Anytime.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to let you go and get to your evening, and we'll be touching base in the chat. But thank you so much, and it's good having you on, man. It's a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. Well, there it is, man. Another great guest on the show. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you took something from it. Like I said, definitely check out his Facebook page because I dropped many links in here tonight. Go look at that. Reach out. Give a like. If you have any questions on anything, he'll be glad to help you out. So, yeah, I thought it was great, didn't you?
It was wonderful.
It's wonderful. You still waking up from your trip?
No,
man?
It's great. It's wonderful. Well, he does it every day. I mean, it's like a full-time job, even though he loves it. You know what I'm saying? He does it. He knows. This brand doesn't operate like this brand. They all say that, they talk within the same realms, but you put them to the test, it's totally different the way they do things.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to have to use a starting point. Try to prop it. Don't look good. Don't run good. You got to put a little more pitch.
And balance your props.
Balance your prop if you want it to not go.
Yeah.
So it's all up to you how you want to do it. Or you can just buy something that's already made and put 6 screws in a charge and go. Whatever turns your crank.
Yeah. I mean, but if you're going to fly a prop plane.
You want to fly a plop?
Balance it first, guys. That should be mandatory. I mean, because that makes all the difference in the world. And if you don't know how to balance prop, there's videos. Learn, get it done.
Oh, yeah. It's good stuff. Easy.
You got to balance prop.
No secrets. Just got to do it.
Got to do it. Make it happen.
Like taking out the trash. You got to get rid of the trash.
That's it.
Got to balance it.
But hope you guys learned something here tonight, took something from the show. We appreciate all of you for being in here and hanging out with us to the end. And we'll be back next week. And we're glad to be back after 2 weeks off for the holidays. I'm glad Wayne's back, and maybe we can get some flying done because we've got a lot of planes to fly, and if we can catch a decent day with no wind,
on, man.
I can handle cold. It's the daggone wind that makes it worse, So
it's cold.
Oh, I know. I mean, look, we got one guy out there with a transmitter cozy.
They were great.
I mean,
they might look like a sissy thing, but they were great.
And Wayne's got his heated vest. He puts on his heated vest.
Yeah, man, I got Mike has a Milwaukee heated vest. My wife bought me something. I think she tried to electrocute me to death because I talked to her about cremating and rather than burying me to save her some money. Right?
Yeah.
You know what she did?
What?
She made me an appointment for next Tuesday. She said, "You can leave now."
That's sad.
Yes, it is, right?
Oh, well,
That's what it is.
All right, guys. Well, look, thank you for being here tonight. And thanks again to Jorge Valverde for hanging out with us. And we'll see you guys next week right here, same time, 8:30, if the snow doesn't rise or the creek doesn't, one of the two. But stay warm, guys. Get some building done and get over to Legend Hobby and click that button because they're going to be gone before you know it, guys. And you won't have nothing to do but sit around and twiddle your phone.
You have to talk to the wife.
Yeah. Order a plane. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Thanks a lot. Be safe. Happy flying. And we'll see you then. Take care. Bye.